But my mother, now that was the backbone. That was truly the backbone where I was the last, and I guess I picked up all of the energy which she had. The other ones, when they got, well, Gregory, when he graduated from high school, he left, came back to Mississippi. Chubby, he went to Eastern Michigan, then went to Michigan, and he went to University of Mississippi. So they left. And it was just me and her. But I tried coming down here several times, but I didn't too much. I couldn't cater to this because of the knowledge I obtained as a child growing up. I used to sneak out when we would go to the church, the Baptist church, New Mount Vernon in Detroit. I sneak out because I wanted to hear Elijah Muhammad and Malcolm X, because they were talking about how to be a proud black man. And that Rem Webb wasn't talking that. And so I didn't want to hear what he was talking about. I said, I want to hear what Elijah and them talking about. So I took that path, and I saw things, that I agreed, I disagreed, and then I started thinking for myself. I took it to another level. I started researching Dr. Ben, Dr. John Henry Clark, Emphadesia, you name it, Cyrus Sudin Seti, all them guys. You got to give those guys credit.
What year was this?
These was the early 80s. I was a young cat doing this stuff. I mean, secretly, because like I said, you had people that would, get mad at you about that. We had to secretly do stuff. And a lot of stuff you just didn't tell. And that's how we did it. But all of that.
Was it you and some of your friends?
Me and some of my friends in Detroit. Some of them are dead and gone now. So, but that's how it paid to play. And a lot of people thought it was just show, because of, like especially when the hip hop, true hip hop era came in. But see, I was always with like KRS-One and Public Enemy for sure. With the positive, because of my mother, who was an original freedom rider before Dr. King ever got involved. That was her. And
this was your mom.
Yeah, it's my mother. And see, she was so deep in it, and I didn't know how deep she was involved in that stuff until, I was joking a lot in school and stuff, playing till my classmates pulled my coattail. I want your mama for my mama. I said, what you mean? Man, your mama got all the knowledge you need. I had to stop and look. Like, what? So, we started checking what he talking about. Then I started seeing my mother. I seen her one time on TV in a conference with Coleman Young, in meetings with Coleman Young. This is her best friend, Coleman A. Young, Arizona, the mayor of Detroit, was her best friend. She was at his dying bed when he died. He the one that encouraged her to go back to school, get further education, to learn about these politics and what's going on. And I mean, and it helped. It helped. It really helped. And I mean, to see my mother do that and stuff, and like I said, I was playing around, and my friends the one that told me that, people at school. And I started taking it to heart, and I seen how deep it was gonna get, once we had to relocate back down here, because we couldn't, because she had said that, well, if I'd have known Clark County was like this, I wouldn't have moved back here, because it's the same stuff I was dealing with when we left. And I said, so I was 4 years old when we left. That means we can't talk about Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. We gotta go beyond. But the beyond is meaning I had to give up my mother.
What you mean by that?
Because her time period here of teaching was over.
When she moved back here?
It was coming to pass that I received messages through my ancestors that you'll have it for so long, and you better start talking. That's why I got more aggressive on social media and everything, because her time is coming up. They still won't listen to her.
When you say they won't listen to her,
because when she started out, like I said, she's a Baptist Christian, all that stuff. But my mother, and she got all this education, but my mother knew her true roots. the spiritual part, just like her mother knew the spiritual part and able to communicate with animals and stuff like that. See, some of them, they forget the whole spirituality. They let it go and take the religious part and just throw that on away. But it don't work that way. It doesn't work that way. But yeah, it's so much. She had been focused on this, like the voting rights and all that stuff. We already know it's the same bird. We're not fooling each other anymore. That is the knowledge, and the time has come that it's above all of that. You can't throw that on nobody anymore. It's just the time has come to pass.